Hello crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I wanted to share an idea for clean and simple cards that could be made with a lot of different supplies. I'm going to be using some stamps from Reverse Confetti. I will be using a bunch of sentiments from their This Says It All stamp set to create a background, and I'm going to stamp directly onto my card base, but I'm only going to be filling the middle of the card. So it won't go all the way up and down the card. I have done these stacked sentiment cards in the past. I've seen many people do them. I just wanted to share today in case it's something you hadn't seen in a while, or just to kind of if you needed to make a bunch of cards. I think this could work well for Christmas, and I do believe Reverse Confetti came out with a seasonal or holiday version of this stamp set where they have very similar words. I originally purchased this stamp set because I like to color in the words sometimes. I think that adds a great pop to cards, but I wanted to be able to use the stamp set in a different way than my original idea, just so that I was getting good value out of my stamp set. And I really, really like this stamp set because of its very general encouraging sentiments like have a great day, you're so lovely, hugs and smiles, a little note, you're so special, hello beautiful. So many just general positive things. And so I'm just kind of thinking about how I want to arrange them in my MISTI, and I'm taking my time with that because I'm going to stamp this 8 times and make 8 card backgrounds and eventually 8 cards with it. And I think that's why it makes such a lovely idea for if you need a bunch of cards for thank you cards, because there is the so many thanks sentiment. You could pair it up with so many thanks for a fabulous friend or a little note and create a very similar background, or repeat the so many thanks multiple times and make a bunch of cards. So this is the Minty Fresh ink from Fawn. I recently picked up a few more different colors from Fawn, and I really liked this minty color because it is really, really subtle but still noticeable. So I thought, because I'm trying to create a background here, and it does dry back a little bit when you first stamp it, it looks a bit darker, but it dried back, so it was enough to have presence on the card without being overwhelming. I'm going to be pairing this with the Cheerful Pals stamp set, so I'm going to stamp them in a Copic friendly ink and then color them up, and I'm going to share that Copic coloring with you. And then I will cut them out with my scan and cut, but you can get coordinating dies. I'm trying to decide which of these critters I think will work well. I really thought the owl is cute, but I just don't know that he goes with my sort of general encouragement theme. So I think the cheerleader cat is perfect, and this elephant that says, yay you. So I think they kind of match up with the general feel of the sentiments I chose for the background. I'm going to color them in the same color palette. So I'm going to use the same markers to color both the elephant and the cat, which is another reason to pick them, because the frog or the owl, I would have had to pick different colors, but I can make both a cat and an elephant gray. That works out. I could have done the owl and the cat both brown, for instance, too. And this is a way that I could make so not all the cards feel exactly the same, because I am picking 2 different stamps from the stamp set. But I'm not making a bunch more work for myself because I'm going to keep those same colors across both. I'm using the warm grays. I kind of always think of cool grays with elephants, but if you actually look at them, they tend to be more on that brown, warmer side because, they're always putting the dust on themselves and mud to keep them cool. So with my Copic coloring, I am choosing to make a strong shadow on one side of the elephant, and then on the elephant I'm not doing any shadow on the other side, but with the kitty cat I will make a slight shadow on the opposite side. But having a strong shadow on one side I think actually adds a lot of dimension to your coloring, makes it more prominent, because and I haven't always done this, so if you're listening to past me, I'll give you a different advice. I'll say, it makes it look rounded, but leaving more of the highlight area, so having most of the elephant's face and most of his ear be that very, very lightest W00, to me makes the coloring more pop more, make it more prominent, more noticeable. And so it's something I've been experimenting with, making my shadows very, very deep and small and leaving a lot of highlight space and adding that shadow to just one side. So as if the light were going to come in there from the left. Of course, this is an abstract scene. There is no light source. There's no sun or anything in the card. So I don't need to be worried about following through with that too much. But it's just a little bit of a guiding suggestion for myself. I'm going to color in the banner with some Copic markers that I felt like were very similar in color to the Minty Fresh Lawn Fawn ink that I used. So I'm using BG 3432 and then going all the way down to the BG 10 for the highlight. One of the reasons I chose so much of a lighter color is so that the highlight would be more prominent. And I didn't have another color in that same BG3 family. I don't think there is one in that family. And then I thought that orange would go really well with teal. They are pretty much across from each other on the color wheel, so that certainly makes sense. And I didn't want to add a bunch of new colors, but I didn't want to make everything teal either. I also wanted to make sure that I stayed pretty gender neutral so that these cards would be excellent for boys or girls or men or women. And so I kind of let that choose because I think, purple or pink might look really nice as well. So, kind of keep your audience in mind. And then I decided that I would place some of them, after I cut them out in my Scan and Cut, I popped them up and then I placed some of them in the center of my card. And then on some of the other cards, I placed them towards the bottom right. And I think they both look cute. You can see a few more sentiments when you place it off to the bottom right. Whereas when you place it in the middle, you kind of block off a lot of the sentiments. But I really think they both work because I have a little note at the top and then have a great day at the bottom. So it still makes sense without all the stuff in between. And I'm going to, like I said, make 8 cards in all. So I just stamped out a few more critters that I will, be able to color in the future. So I hope this gave you a good idea. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are interested in more craft tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Please let me know which one you like better, the center or down in the right there. And I will leave you links to the video or in the video description to all the supplies that I used in case you're interested. Thank you for taking this time to join me and have an awesome day. Bye.